This is how we play.
Are you picking... You're taking both of the weapon proficiencies then, so you can get your martial axes, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, then the last one that you would take would be an armor.
Okay. Okay, 3 total. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
It's very difficult to explain to people who are new to it, and kindergarten simplicity when you're familiar with it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which made it very difficult, because the learning curve is steep, and then once you get into it, you're like, it says weapon proficiency and has the number 2 next to it, what else could it mean?
Right.
But it's, Greek to people who've been playing 3rd edition or whatever. Now, starting features is going to be a little more complicated. All right, so for your starting features, you collect 1 feature from each at first level. So you're either you're gonna want your fighting style to get your axe bonuses, unless you just want 2 extra feats. Because your choice is fighting style or fighter training.
What's fighting style do for?
The fighting style is what gets you your axe proficiency, your axe specialization.
Oh, okay.
But you could choose to wait on that and take 2 more feats if you wanted.
I will go for that. I would like to.
All right, we'll put that in features.
Really beeline for that.
What the fuck? It's underlined and the wrong color. Sometimes I think that Google Docs just wants me to suffer. Okay, so that's your fighter stuff. And now we're going to move to the barbarian stuff.
Oh.
Scroll. So you have... For your feats, you have a choice of armor proficiency and 2 weapon proficiencies. So that's all 3. So you either get those 3, or you turn 1 of them, or you turn 2 of them in for a bonus feat.
I will turn 2 of them in bonus feat because I don't really need. Okay, so my weapon proficiencies, I have simple weapons and I have my axe.
You have simple weapon, and then you have 3 martial weapons, which is probably throwing axe, battle axe, great axe.
Okay.
At a guess.
So
you can turn in the 2 weapon proficiencies in order to get a bonus feat and take the armor proficiency for medium armor. Or for light armor and shields if you want.
No, I'll go to the medium armor. I like that. Let's do that.
Alright. Light, medium, and then simple, throwing axe. Wait, it's called hand axe. Is it called throwing axe or hand axe? It doesn't matter. Hand axe, battle axe.
Well, they all need to be axe.
Yeah. They don't have to be, but that's what you get your bonuses with. And that is all 3 of the axes, I think. Is halberd an axe?
Well, I'll just say,
halberd might be an axe.
no, halberd is a polearm.
Okay,
In real life, at least.
let's see. 2 weapon proficiencies, 2 armor proficiencies. Arbitrarily capitalized randomly, because I'm nuts. I'll blame the wine, even though I'm pretty much sober by this point. So, 1 rage feature, 1 aspect feature, or primal challenge. So you only get 1.
Hey.
So it has... If you want it to be transforming right now, then it should be the rage feature.
Hey, Lampe.
Wait, what? What do you want?
Me and Shara need some guidance.
This character is getting ridiculous because I'm pretty sure that bonus feat can be used on spell training for psionic.
Not if you're trading in proficiencies.
Oh.
If you're trading in proficiencies, spell training counts as 2. So it's impossible. In
Well,
fact, I should say that.
We are training it to proficiencies for a bonus feat.
Um,
That can be
Hybrid.
anything.
So confused.
First instance, probably nope. 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 Still no? How many times did I say hybrid before the damn thing shows up? Right here. Okay. Down here, we'll say you can only do this once, comma, you cannot take spell training as it counts as 2. Save.
Is that after the monk thing?
It's in the description of the thing where you turn them in.
Okay. Alright. So you only have 2 spells, right? And they're both arcane.
Did that figure it?
Only it's level 1.
Things out?
We thought he was going to have 3.
That would be too many.
I was so lost. I'm so lost.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You are lost.
It's okay, so
Okay. Choose a class with fewer than
Okay.
3. So here's the thing. Did you find any of those? Did you find any of those marking abilities so seductive that you'll put off your rage for a while?
no.
All right.
I mean, depends on what my rage is. What's
Rage is a it's
okay, standard rage, right? Like,
it's a mode, and you choose the type of rage. But I thought you'd get 2 choices. Apparently, you only get 1, because I gave people extra feats instead, which makes sense. Plus, it cuts down on some of the. It cuts.
so this Drake rage or this vicious rage or
Let's see here. Your
lightning storm rage?
choices will go down here because the generals are on the list first, but they're the furthest away. So these are totems. There's no rage down here. Okay, well that makes that a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Leather. Focus, man. So you will either have the Drake Rage or the Vicious Rage.
Okay.
You reduce when you reduce a target to 0 hit points. You can make a melee basic attack as a free action once per round. You cannot use a stance or cast a spell while in rage. That's true of all rages.
I mean, yeah, that was okay, I guess.
Or you can go into this rage as an immediate interrupt, triggered when you are hit by an opponent in melee.
When you hit or are hit by them. What's
Oh,
the
yeah.
save here?
Every 5 levels.
Okay, so 1 damage until level 5. So that's not very exciting either. Or the other things that I could give it up for.
The things you could give it up for are the marking powers,
Marking power.
which in your case would be the wild mark, I think. That'd be wild mark.
I don't see wild mark in here.
It's in the at-will powers in the general features. That's the one where you mark them if they hit your ally.
That willpower I only see devastating strike.
Yeah, it's in general features. It's at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Basically, the way that it works
No.
is that
There we
the
go.
2 of them, the ways that barbarians mark targets are tied to a certain barbarian. The rest of them are expected to take this one.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll take the vicious rage. They really nerfed rage in D&D. It's such a defined part of barbarians.
Yeah, they brought it back basically the way it was in the old days in 5th edition. But it's like the only... It like affects strength checks, except attack rolls, but does add to damage. And I think it scales with level. But it's not like... Almost nothing specifically affects attributes anymore because it changed the way the math had to work. And people didn't like it.
I like that. But yeah, basically, Vicious Rage just gives me a +1 damage.
Vicious Rage is really popular because you don't have to take the action.
Yeah.
And then the funny thing is people are like, oh yeah, I don't have to take the action to do it. You've sold me on it.
But,
and then they wind up sitting there being like, what am I going to do with all these actions now?
yeah, I mean, that's the thing is you don't take the action. Either you to successfully hit, or someone to hit you.
Apply.
Which I can see being annoying.
All right.
I don't know, Drake Rage is kind of nice because it's kind of like a cleat.
Yeah. There was a whole thing about building around knocking people down and doing shit.
Yeah. Well, that's specifically you have to reduce them to 0 hits.
Before I nerfed the barbarians, there was a thing that there was a combo somebody figured out where they had like fucking Omega Cleave, because as long as they knocked down a target, they could get a charge attack. And as long as that charge attack knocked down a target, they could keep going. I was like, I've got to stop this. This is the freight train. You don't get to move 48 spaces in one turn because you killed 11 people. This has to stop.
I think I'm actually gonna go with Drake Rage.
Very well.
Like neither of them are good. Saul's draconic. At that point, when you just have two bad choices, it's like, pick for flavor.
Yeah. I think that it'll work out a little better if and when you start dealing in totems, because the thing about rages is it's the idea is that you have totems and rages and you mix and match them in order to customize your rage feature, basically.
Oh, okay. How do totems work?
A totem changes the way your rage works.
Okay.
Like Totemic Rush here. When you are raging, if you attack, you make while raging, if an attack you make causes a foe to fall unconscious or prone, you may shift 3 spaces as an immediate reaction. But the barbarian might be like, I'm not feeling that one today. I'm going to go for the one that gives me regeneration. Or...
Yeah, I guess that one actually works well with the Drake thing, because basically not only can once I knock them out, I can actually shift 3 spaces, then attack, right?
Correct. But you don't have that yet because you're a hybrid.
No, but like just looking at what you're going for.
Correct. And then there's another feature where they start charging, and that's how that one asshole was mowing down the countryside.
Yeah.
That's how he turned into a freight train, and I nerfed the barbarian. It's just...
So are there general totems, or is that just the only one I get?
Well, you don't get any totems yet.
Well, when I do though.
But there are 2 totems down here. The shark totem. When you're under the effects of a rage, you swim your movement speed regardless of athletics as a move action and have +4 to endurance, for holding your breath, basically. And the bear totem. When under the effects of a rage, you gain resistance 1 per tier to all damage and +2 to endurance and athletics.
Okay.
Okay, so you have all of these already. 1 feature at each. Oh yeah, and you get your starting features, you pick 1 feature from each. Or, yeah, from either out of your subtype or from the general stuff.
Isn't that what those rages are? Aren't they featured?
Correct. So are all of the attacks. All of these are features. And now that you have all the automatic stuff taken care of, which was also fighter training. What am I? Why did I not do this? Fighter training.
So like a devastating strike, is that a feature?
Devastating strike is a feature.
I would like to take that.
I can see why.
Yeah.
All right, so that's your barbarian feature for first level. What is your fighter feature for first level?
Okay, I've not looked at fighter yet.
Underline, back, shift, enter. Surprisingly complicated.
Fighter. Are you? Fighter. Okay. I am a great weapon fighter. man, Sure Strike is always fun.
Hold on, let me look at that.
And it's the +2 to your attack. Or you can take a -2 and get a bonus 3 damage.
That's a Duskblade feature. What?
It's under the Great Weapon.
What is it called?
Reckless, or Sun Sure Strike.
It is called Sure Strike. Why doesn't it show up when I search for it? Oh, it does. So that needs to change. This needs to become... I caught a redundancy. We have fixed it. Sure Strike. I will note that the greens are specific attacks in and of themselves. They don't modify attacks, which means that you pick and choose which one.
Ah, okay, so I can't use that in combination with.
No, you want passives for that.
Okay.
Like Violent Challenge, for example.
So, in that case, the general features, I can get durability.
Scroll. Durability, you have an additional hit point. You have additional hit points equal to 4 plus your level. Yes.
Awesome. I would like to take that one. If I'm going to be up there, I should, last a little bit.
Alright. And then we'll just throw those in here. So your hit points are Constitution +0. But now you have 4 additional hit points, so we'll make that a 15. And then 4 plus your level, which is another 5. Why would I erase it? It's 11 plus 4 plus 5. Actually, it should probably be +4 plus 1.
Yeah.
20. And I'm moving to 7. Okay. This is more or less a first level character. There's some housekeeping that could be done. But it's like 11:30. We're like 30 minutes over the length of time for the stream. So I think that we're going to call this done. You have characters. For future situations, you can use these now ready-to-play characters. If the thing that we're running isn't a character creation stream, and then you'll go on various adventures in Nuastrilla.
Fantastic.
Generally, how you're going to do that is there's a bulletin board, which is filled with chaos, but if you scroll all the way to the top, I'll pin this. Pin message. Yeah, pin it. There's a
bulletin board?
Yes.
Which chat is that?
This
is in the Discord, correct?
Yes, it is the bulletin board channel.
Oh, yep. I see it.
Yeah, and then there's a link which should lead you to a place where adventures have been going on.
Oh, yes. Link at the top.
Yeah, I pinned it. So you should be able to get it pinned.
I feel like Kaz does not really care where he goes. But we'll just go with anyone who's going somewhere. So
there's all kinds of...
There's adventure to be had.
There's dungeons to be explored. There's tasks to be completed. Ongoing repeat quests. And people should pitch a point probably where they want to try to do something the next time that they're planning on playing. So you'll try to give me 3 days notice. Pitch something you want to do to get a party together. Pitch one of these ideas to me. or discuss it with one another to figure out what it is you guys want to try to do. And then we'll get together and play a game of Nuastrilla where you guys go on that adventure when we are next able.
Awesome. And then, once you're done streaming, to say a few to you as well about Clatter.
No, don't open this. Why would you open this now? Okay. And then, is there anything from out of chat? That's 7 people. I should rate. Is there anything that chat has to say before I raid somebody completely and utterly random on Twitch that probably has no connection whatsoever to any of your interests?
Yeah, that's why it's a neat feature, but no one ever sits around raids, so it's just kind of a weird experience. I feel more like I'm interrupting their stream.
I've had some gnarly adventures with raiding. Like one day I started off watching somebody's stream and they raided somebody and I was like, oh, I really like this person. And then they raided somebody else that I'd never heard of. And the next thing I know, I'm watching a woman in Sweden making a vest from scratch with footage behind her of a what are they called? Reindeer migration. And I was like, this is not something I ever would have considered trying to look for.
Right.
This guy is a game game developer.
Oh yeah, so that's why I rate. Who is it?
Silver Spook.
Oh, not for anything.
Small-time indie stuff. Works with a good friend of mine who is a philosophy theorist.
Okay.
They're roommates.
We're roommates.
Invalid parameters. Why don't they just have a button? I mean, I know how entitled that sounds, but I have to be able to type out the name, which means I have to be able to spell it. Oh, they have raids turned off. Well, so much for that. Anyway, I guess we're not raiding then. Because that's the only one on my list that's on right now, and they are not accepting raids. We've gained viewers since we quit playing. How does that even work? What are you people doing here?
Just checking stuff out.
Here. This is a link to things you can do in order to join us. It has information and links and a Discord. So if you guys want to play with us, that's the way to do it. And I'm going to stop streaming here very shortly because I cannot raid.
Prismatic Dodo is a fantastic.
Yeah, it is a great name. All right.
This was
What was that, Gunner?
This was a good game of D&D. Good for.
I'm excited to hop in now they have some class level.
Yeah. All right, I'm clicking the in-stream button. Good night, everybody. Thank you for your time. Like, comment, subscribe, and share.